it is our honor to be able to give you this check for $1,250.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're excited to be able to start working with you and doing some volunteering.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Wow, you guys, thank you so much. Hi. Communities and Schools is, and most of you heard from me about a year and a half ago when I first joined Rotary, in my personal commitment to be, actually I love our tagline, my personal commitment is to be more involved in community commerce and certainly camaraderie, and Rotary has helped me do that. Although, as Glenn mentioned, not quite as much as I originally wanted to, because after I joined the organization, we had some leadership changes, and at the end of March, I was named Chief Executive Officer of the State Office of Communities and Schools. So thank you guys very much. Irizu behind me here is part of our Southern Nevada team, and she's here to talk about some and help with some volunteer things. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you guys, because this $1,250 will help us move into more schools, not only here in Las Vegas, but across the state. This is what keeps me up at night, actually. Communities and Schools actually goes into Title I schools or at-risk, high-need schools where the majority of our students are hungry. They may be homeless, or maybe couch surfing, or maybe living in stacked housing, and they have a variety of barriers that are keeping them from coming to school and being successful. So that's what we do at Communities and Schools. And you guys are helping us do that. You guys are helping us solve these barriers and solve these problems. So thank you guys so much for doing that. What our model is, just to kind of give you an overview, if you don't remember, we have a lot of new members that have been here since I participated or presented, is we actually put a full-time site coordinator in every school that we serve, and that person becomes part of the fabric of the organization and from the school. So the school that you guys have helped us sponsor is Red Rock Elementary, and Red Rock Elementary isn't actually far from here. It's in the Sahara, kind of Decatur area. Red Rock Elementary is a Title I school. The majority of the children qualify for free and reduced lunch. Many times that also means free breakfast, because that may mean that for the majority of the students, that's the only two solid meals that they will get in the day. So Red Rock Elementary is the school that we have identified for you guys to maybe help partner with and all of that. This full-time site coordinator works with the school to work in our resource room. So we roll in with a full resource room, shoes, socks, emergent food, hygiene kits, backpacks, school supplies, might be laundry detergent, might be whatever those families are needing to help them be successful and get those kids to school. And we do that here in Southern Nevada. We are in 34 elementary schools, 7 middle schools, and 7 high schools. That's 48 Title I schools here in Las Vegas. Because of your donation and many other donations, we are actually moving into a minimum of 4 new schools this year. So 4 new schools will get that get the touch of a site coordinator, which is 5 more full-time employees. And we're moving into 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school, the high school being Rancho High School. And so those key members go in and work with those kids, identifying the barriers on what's keeping them from coming to school. And then we take that and we elevate that. So think about that resource room is kind of like this space a little bit, right? We have somebody who greets us every day and makes us feel welcome. That's what our site coordinator does. They greet these kids every day, make them feel welcome, identify something if we think if your shoes are 2 sizes too small or 3 sizes too large or have holes in them. We'll have that conversation and we'll get you new shoes. But then that opens the door to a bigger conversation. And that bigger conversation is, why are you late 4 times to school every day? And it might be because, once we've had these conversations, that you are a 4th grader who's responsible for getting your 2 younger siblings up for school in the morning, finding breakfast in the house, getting dressed and walking 1.5 miles to school on your own, because your single parent household who's working 2 jobs doesn't get off until after school starts. That might be the barrier. And so that pair of shoes just opened up the door for us to then solve bigger problems. Make a call at home, see what's happening, how can we support you, how can we help you be successful, and for that particular child it might be an alarm clock. That might be the simplest form. Those are all things that you are helping us do in Rotary. In our and our site coordinators take one step further, and then they'll case manage those children. So about 10% of the school's population, so at Red Rock Elementary, we have about 600 kids at that school. So they'll case manage about 60 kids, the ones that are really the highest need and are really struggling, and figure out what are those barriers and how can we continue doing that. We'll offer some tutoring, maybe some mentoring, and then we work with hundreds of different programs across Las Vegas and in the state. You guys do a lot with Project 150. We partner with Project 150 in every one of our high schools. So when you guys go and work at Prom Closet and all the great things you guys do there, that then helps CIS kids because we get to send our kids to Prom Closet. So what we also try to do is not do a duplication of services. If somebody else is out there doing that service, we will partner with them to help us because it takes a village, and we know when we can't do it by ourselves. So in Las Vegas, we're in 48 schools. In Reno, we're in 8 schools. And in Northern Nevada, in Elko, we're in 7 schools. So that's 63 schools across the state. We have a pretty strategic, really robust strategic plan that hopefully will put us in 28 more schools in the next 3 years. So as the new CEO, that's my job, is to make that happen. And let me tell you why. And this is what keeps me up at night as well. When you think 48 schools, you think, my gosh, that is a lot of schools, right? You guys are doing some great work, and we are. I don't want to take that away from us. We're doing amazing work. Our site coordinators are truly the heroes of the organization. But out of the 350 public schools in Southern Nevada and Las Vegas, over 260 of them are Title I. Well, that means that over 60% of those kids qualify for free and reduced lunch. Our schools average 88% of the schools are qualified for free or reduced lunch. So 88% of the kids get their meals from school and may not have an active dinner or weekend program. So that's when then we'll bring in 3 Square, or we'll bring in Serving Our Kids, we'll bring in all those other food opportunities to help us identify what those barriers are. So that's why I have a strategic plan that puts me in 28 more schools in the next 3 years, so then we can continue to help these kids and get them the support that they need to get them to graduate. Because we also know that these kids do not just wake up their junior year and decide not to graduate from high school. It's been a slow process of a barrier and a barrier and a barrier. By the time they get to high school, it's just too hard. They might be credit deficient, and now we need to get them across the finish line. And if we can have at least identified these barriers across their college or their school careers, we can get them across the finish line. In fact, we are obviously just counting our numbers, our graduation numbers and our statistics. We're extremely data-driven and we're evidence-based. So I can tell you how many pairs of shoes I've given out. I can tell you how many emergent food, how many backpacks. I can tell you all the different stats to share with you our metrics. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is we had 7 senior academy classes this year. Those are in our high schools, and those are our elevated areas. Out of 7 academy classes for our seniors, out of 4 of our classes, we had 100% graduation rate. 100%. And these are kids, thank you, please clap for them, because these are kids that walked into their senior year credit deficient by 3 or more credits. So in addition to passing all their classes in their senior year, they had to make up additional classes, and many of them obviously didn't even think that they were going to be able to do that. We also have 3 classes left. We have an average graduation rate, or we have a graduation rate now of 97%, but I've got some kids in summer school. So we're hoping that they can get through summer school, and then if they can do that by the end of the summer, that can add to our graduation rate as well. So that's the work that you guys are helping us do. We need to do more of it, and together we're really excited to continue to graduate our kids. So quick overview. Sometimes you're like, what does CIS do? Here's what we do. If a student's been walking to school and shoes 3 sizes too small for them, we give them new shoes. If they don't have food at home, we provide them food. If they need academic assistance or tutoring, we'll provide that. If they need help paying for their college admission tests, their ACTs, their SATs, any of those graduation robes, any of the things to get them across the finish line, we find them the money, and at the end of the day, we are maybe the caring adult in their life. And that is where, again, Rotary comes in. A lot of different opportunities for volunteering in not only Red Rock Elementary School, but in other opportunities as well. Here's some quick stats. I'll leave those here. And then last but not least, we do have a school supply drive on Friday, August 2nd. This is where we collect all of the supplies that fill not only the 48 schools we're in, but the 4 new schools that we're in, that we'll have to bring in all new resource rooms for those schools. The closest drop-off location here is the Sam's Club on Rainbow, and we're going to be there from 5 in the morning until 7:30 at night. You all should have a flyer at your table, and if you are interested in participating or doing more, please let Irizu, who's right back with me from Southern Nevada, and myself know. And again, thank you very much, Rotary. Together, we're going to continue to help these kids and get them across the finish line. So, thank you.